rumble of the discourse. We've taken an abandoned concrete factory at the margins of the declining American empire and repurposed it into a battleground where 19 separate entities from across the political spectrum enter the discourse one by one and do battle to determine who controls the narrative force of the discourse. I hope you'll join me, your Southern Gothic Futurist host, dirtgod Raven Mack, for each and every episode of Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? dirtgod Raven Mack back at you in our abandoned concrete factory for another Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. We're looking at last week's highlights when we came back, our first one since 4th of July. We had a 1-year algorithmic boost was going to go to the winner of last week's event. It was an eventful one. Today is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples History Day, depending on how you look at things. You can see MagaKag Train coming out last week. That seemed to be, it was Donald Trump coming out under a mask. But a sign of how divided times are today is a holiday, but not necessarily do we all agree on what holiday it actually is. Our final four last week was that MagaKag Train, Kirsten Cinema, who gets pinned there, Verified Blue Check, and Matt Getz. You can see here in a second, Verified Blue Check goes out and it leaves us with Matt Getz and this MagaKag Train, this masked individual shaped and acting like Donald Trump, who ended up winning the event. Supposed to receive a 1-year algorithmic boost by winning the event. So we're back here again tonight. I don't enjoy doing these things, to be honest. I don't love having to pay attention to the discourse. It's really quite tiring and overwhelming. But I am trying to maintain a loving and positive attitude about all things because the pandemic has shown us that most of what we believe is probably bullshit, and the world's always going to be a struggle, and declining empire could decline for 3 or 4 generations. It may not end in our lifetime, so salvation may not be around the corner, so might as well just do what we can to enjoy it. We go to the ring here. 27 folks will be coming in tonight. Each minute a new person will come out. Lady Cop and Police State are your refs. And your first competitor. Look at this. Dave Chappelle. Quite discourse heavy in the past week. Dave Chappelle made more transphobic jokes. Again, I think he just did this. Was he do this every year now? Is it like an annual event where Netflix releases a controversial Dave Chappelle item, and then half the world gets mad and the other half claims he's the greatest ever for just being controversial, which, is basically old, tired, white edgelord comic thing, but just is now done by a black man. Verified Blue Check is out here to face him. Verified Blue Check, somebody who has castigated Dave Chappelle in social media, a proud gay individual, so you have an affluent gay white man, Verified Blue Check, attempting to cancel a black comedian. Obviously, there's there's intersections of problematic pieces to that all around. It's impossible not to be problematic being human. Chappelle and Blue Check going at it. Chappelle's first time here in our discourse, at least in our concrete factory. He's usually, like I said, in the discourse seems like every year. He's on that top rope. That's a dangerous spot. He comes with a punch across Verified Blue Check and busts it open. And we get that music into critical thinking. Punk is coming out here, libertarian, probably not the biggest fan of Dave Chappelle's comedy, but I don't know, certainly doesn't like Verified Blue Checks. He's got one of those briefcases, and that Verified Blue Check got busted open by that top rope punch by Chappelle, but they're still going at it. Police State and Lady Cop are your referees in there. 2 referees to maintain law and order during the discourse to make sure nothing gets too far out of hand. If you are thrown over the top rope, pinned, or submitted, you are eliminated. Chappelle going for a count on Verified Blue Check and gets a 2 count. And we get a buzzer, and who do we have coming out now? Recognize the music, I think. Oh yeah, Debbie DSA. So Debbie DSA comes out, that radical feminist rose emoji posting on social media now about it being spoopy season. I tend to, when I hear the word spoopy, just auto-mute that individual for at least 3 months, because what the hell? But, Halloween is sort of like a Gen X holiday, and Dave Chappelle flips over the top rope and he's out. Halloween has sort of been co-opted as this non-spiritual holiday for Gen X types. So spoopy season is upon us. And here comes Elon Musk with that hammer. Perhaps in reference to Grimes reading Karl Marx, I don't know. Oh, and he nails Debbie DSA with that hammer. Flips her. Nobody gets on her for the pin, though. Elon Musk, another individual that problematic in nature. So we got Debbie DSA, that verified blue check is still in there, healing up from that bloody mess he went briefly. Oh, he just got nailed by Elon Musk in that briefcase, though. That critical thinking libertarian punk rocker is still in there as well. And we've got a buzzer coming out to join the fracas. You see Dave Chappelle still there at ringside. It's Rand Paul, the senator from Kentucky. Made some noise this week complaining about how this infrastructure bill, the money has to come from somewhere. Rand Paul's... You have to keep in mind with Rand Paul that Ron Paul, his father, it was sort of like Ron Paul had a small business in D.C. as the contrary libertarian, and Rand Paul's already busted open. So Rand Paul is essentially the son who inherited a small business, and like most small businesses taken over by a son, he's just really incompetent at it compared to his father. Ron Paul at least inspired some passion back in his early days, and here comes Nancy Pelosi. Speaking of not inspiring passion, Nancy Pelosi coming out, but Rand Paul is just really like a tired joke of what his father would be. And somehow he's still senator from Kentucky. I guess the standards are low. 2021. Pelosi on that top rope knocks out the critical thinking punk and Rand Paul. And there's a pin on Debbie DSA by verified blue check, but a kick out. A lot going on here in the Discourse early on already. Rand Paul's been busted open. That verified blue check got busted open earlier. The briefcases you see scattered around the ring are filled with lobbyist money. Always a heavy influence on the Discourse. And here comes President Biden. President Biden trying to get these bills passed. There's a pin kick out. President Biden's approval ratings at an all-time low. People are wondering what he can do. There's a constant propaganda mechanism working against him, but also, he's not all that inspiring, to be honest. Kind of a fucking drunk uncle running the country. He goes after Debbie DSA, one count. Nancy Pelosi takes that stick that Rand Paul in and nails verified blue check, but only gets a 2 count. And it looks like Elon Musk has been busted open in there as well. And we've got buzzer, and here comes Mitch McConnell, that obstructionist senator from Kentucky, just trying to run out the 4-year clock. Verified blue check over the top rope, drop kick by President Biden, and is eliminated. Mitch McConnell's defense against Democratic alleged rule of both houses in the White House is basically just a stall for 4 years. And it worked at the end of Obama's, and then they railroaded a bunch of stuff in with Trump. So it seems without an effective resistance from the majority. How do you resist from the majority? That's an odd position the Democrats have put themselves in. And we got a buzzer. And speaking of obstructionists, here comes Kirsten Sinema. Hitting the ring, she grabs a hammer. I'm sure more than one of those briefcases is from one of her recent fundraising activities. Confronted on social media by activists multiple times because she's refused to see people. Arizona's a godforsaken place. And that's something I wanted to say about Dave Chappelle, too. Something to remember about Dave Chappelle is he lives in rural Ohio, and you talk about a godforsaken place. No wonder Dave Chappelle has problematic views. He's in fucking rural Ohio now. What a shithole to be from. And we've got a buzzer. And check coming out. Super blue check. Another verified blue check. Prominent social media presence. Always making her voice heard. Expect her to go after Kirsten Sinema perhaps, because she had a couple noteworthy tweet rants about Kirsten Sinema making it look bad for bisexual and sexually marginalized. Of course, it's two privileged people having that discussion. We got a lot of folks in there right now. We've seen some blood too, and scream from Debbie DSA. And we got a buzzer. Here comes AOC, the darling of the House of Representatives. Performatively progressive, and I guess, well, super blue check toss, so she is out. I guess even being performatively progressive is fairly progressive in modern American discourse. Verified blue check attacking super blue check outside the ring. Both of them already eliminated. So I'm going to try to reset before we get another buzzer. President Biden is in there. AOC, Nancy Pelosi. We have Senators Rand Paul, Kirsten Sinema, Mitch McConnell. Elon Musk is still out there. Debbie DSA, and that critical thinking punk is still out there. Well, Debbie DSA just got eliminated. She got pinned, so we can take her off the list as Vice President Kamala Harris comes out. Kamala Harris, of course, to a kids' classroom this week. They're trying to rehab Kamala Harris's image. Found that she's one of the least approved vice presidents at this stage of things. And again, you have propaganda mechanisms working against the Democrats, but in tandem with that, they're not very inspirational or likable in a lot of ways. So it doesn't take all that much propaganda to derail the momentum. And Rand Paul got eliminated there. I think that was President Biden that got the pick. Couldn't see. There's a lot of bodies in the ring right now. Just as Rand Paul's eliminated, we get a buzzer. Oh, looky here. Tucker Carlson. He's got that Fox News camera in hand. Tucker Carlson has entered the melee for the first time in the discourse, shockingly, considering what a huge part of the discourse he is. The manufactured discourse. Tucker Carlson, of course, prominent Fox News anchor who manufactures a lot of discourse talking points at the behest of who, we don't know. Critical race theory is one, and there goes critical thinking punk. He got tossed over that top rope and eliminated. Critical race theory, the replacement of Christian Americans, which is a thinly veiled cover for white Americans that Tucker Carlson has recently done. These are the same things that the racists that came to Charlottesville in 2017 were saying, so it's a little disgusting to see that go mainstream. And here comes Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang made news this week, started his Forward Party, hoping to have a third political party, hoping to have ranked choice voting, term limits for Congress. Those are both things I support. I think they'd both be really good things if you believe in electoral politics, which I don't know if I do. But much like wrestling, and this is a wrestling event of the discourse, I enjoy wrestling enough to watch it now and then. Same thing with politics. I still don't mind voting now and then. We got another buzzer, and as Pete Bourgeoisie, a gentrified neighborhood, come to life. Mitch McConnell got pinned in there by somebody. You know, I'm actually a resident of Virginia. The concrete factory is located in Virginia, north central Virginia, just across the western slope of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And we have a governor's race coming up with establishment Democrat Terry McAuliffe and a crazy Republican and Glenn Youngkin, and luckily we have a third-party candidate, Princess Blandy, there, who if I happen to walk up to the polling place, which I'll be off that day, I might as well, I guess, I'll probably vote for that, and it's good to have a third-party candidate that I feel good about voting for, but of course I'll get chastised by Democrats for not supporting the Democratic person, even though the Democratic Party doesn't really represent me at this point, which is not to say the Republicans do. They're even worse. It's really just gotten ridiculous. Anyways, the Proud Boy comes in, that foot soldier of the far right. They are still out there. They are everywhere. You see them popping up left and right. I actually have a friend who lives next to one. It's disgusting. Steve Bannon recently made news talking about how many foot soldiers they actually had in the streets and how it was time to start acting like it, which was one of those coded threats that, of course, Trump was famous for. And I know he's speaking to these Proud Boys. They are organized at a level that you probably aren't aware if you only know them from the internet. And here comes Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor. And he goes right after Kamala Harris. Pete Bourgeoisie just nails that Proud Boy in the face. Biden is pinning Kamala Harris, but she kicks out at 2. Let's see, Tucker Carlson going at it with Ron DeSantis right now. Andrew Yang just dropped by that Proud Boy. No, that wasn't Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang is over here tussling with Ron DeSantis. There's a lot going on, folks. And even more, here comes Ben Shapiro. Speaking of people that are bizarrely funded, he grabs that camera, looking to make that transition to a more mainstream face. That tiny little mighty might of the alt-right, Ben Shapiro. And there's a quick pin count. President Biden eliminated by the Proud Boy. And there's another pin. Elon Musk got pinned there by Kirsten Sinema. So we'll try to get a recap here. Oh, we got another. So we got Nancy Pelosi and AOC are still in there out of Congress. We have Senator Kirsten Sinema, Andrew Yang, Pete Bourgeoisie, Governor Ron DeSantis, Ben Shapiro, Vice President Kamala Harris, Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson, and now let's add that Twitter communist to the mix. Twitter communist coming out. AOC eliminated. Discourse is a bit nasty this week. Twitter communist Andrew Yang was on the apron but didn't get knocked off. And somebody has knocked the police state over that top of it. ACAB, baby. Leg drop on a pile of people. Twitter communist, always with the seemingly witty quips on Twitter, online. His political. Oh, look at this. We have Omega Chad. Kamala Harris pinned in the ring. Omega Chad. The Omega Man Chad. That famous Chad meme making his thing. But this is not an alpha male. This is an Omega male. He sees himself as beyond alpha. Pete Bourgeoisie knocked off that top rope by the Proud Boy. The Omega Chad is out here beyond alpha level, sees alpha males as weak, and considers himself an Omega male, although he just took a kick from Nancy Pelosi that wiped him out. Omega Chad making his debut. Tucker Carlson is in there with his as well. So we've got a couple new faces out here. And here comes that Rogan podcast fan. You gotta think him and the Omega Chad are hand in hand, probably share some subreddits together. They're coming in there. That Rogan podcast fan has won this in the past. Twitter communist has won this in the past. I'm trying to think who else in there might have won one. I don't think anybody else in there currently has won one in the past. Pete Bourgeoisie is standing on one of those meritocracy ladders outside the ring watching the match. That's a little creepy there in the background. I'm not sure what he thinks he's doing. Omega Chad beating on Ron DeSantis. The communist got a 2 count on Nancy Pelosi. And he goes for another cover on Nancy Pelosi. And here comes NFT. NFT back out. NFT made the news again the past couple weeks. It looks like NFT is as ridiculous as we all thought it was, and just a cryptocurrency conspiracy to run up prices. One prominent NFT dealer disappeared with a few $1 million worth of money. Ethereum, which is one of the main cryptocurrencies used with NFTs, apparently the whole endeavor of NFTs was just a market manipulation to add to the wealth of a couple specific cryptocurrencies, that being one of them. Rogan podcast fan knocked out by NFT. So NFT, whether he's a crypto conspiracy or not, he knocked out that Rogan podcast fan. Kirsten Sinema got pinned. by Ben Shapiro, look like. Tech Lord comes out and just immediately starts pummeling people. Tech Lord, of course, in the news after that Facebook outage. And we got a pin, Omega Chad, pinned by, that was Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson took out the Omega Chad. So we had Facebook testimony before Congress about how social media and algorithms were, and Nancy Pelosi just thrown way over the top. That was a devastating elimination. So that Tech Lord is out there, and he just drops Ron DeSantis right on his face and goes for the pin. Speaking of the algorithm, here comes the reply guy. Big fan of social media, the south side of Facebookiana. So by my count, we have 2 folks left to come out here. There's a pin on the Tech Lord by the reply guy, just a 1 count. Ben Shapiro's still in there swinging that thing. Tucker Carlson slamming Proud Boy. So we got Tucker Carlson, Andrew Yang, Proud Boy, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, Ben Shapiro, the Tech Lord, the reply guy, the Twitter communist, and NFT. And coming out, the next to last person, who do we have here today, folks? Oh, it's kidney donor Karen. Kidney donor Karen. Dawn Dorland, I believe her name is. I don't know if you followed this story. And Ron DeSantis, I don't know if you followed this bad art friend story that Discourse was going crazy with this past week. One woman gave a kidney. Another woman created a story about the woman giving the kidney. People were mocking the woman in the ring here who gave the kidney for having a white savior complex, perhaps demanding too much attention given a kidney. It's one of those things where I came away from digging deeper in it and realizing there was no good guy. But then again, I will say, well, let's see who this last person is first. The Proud Boys eliminated, and we have the Unabomber. The Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, in his Super Max orange outfit, carrying a pipe. Is that a pipe bomb? Carrying a pipe. He is our last entrant. I do want to finish my thought about Dawn Dorland, the kidney donor Karen, that, you know, she did give a kidney, and that's more than I will ever do for anybody. So I can only besmirch her, but so much. But that was a situation where I don't think I really want to identify as agreeing with anybody in an argument like that. And Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, just nails that kidney donor Karen, and that pipe he brought out, Tucker Carlson is swinging that on everybody. And NFT looks to be busted open. Tucker Carlson going crazy with that pipe, but NFT has Tucker Carlson down. Only gives a 2 count. Twitter communist at the end of the ring there with Andrew Yang. Ben Shapiro just suplexes the Unabomber. Unabomber going for a cover on Andrew Yang. Lee State slow to get there. Only a 2 count. There's a pin on the Twitter communist, and the NFT is eliminated, but he is kicked out. So the Twitter communist got pinned by NFT, but kicked out at the 3 count. NFT went over the top rope and fell to the floor, so he was eliminated by somebody who technically had just been eliminated. I'm not sure how that works, but I guess NFT is an unregulated thing, so regular rules don't apply. The reply got nailing the Unabomber in the back of the head, so we're left with media personalities, Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro, internet entity, the reply guy, the internet itself in the form of the Tech Lord. Andrew Yang is hoping to start that forward party. Kidney donor Karen, a.k.a. Dawn Dorland, and the Unabomber, a.k.a. Ted Kaczynski, who has been released from Supermax confinement. It's got to be fun for him to be out there with multiple people, having been in solitary for so long in the past decade. He's out there, and he's taking that hammer to the reply guy. He is utilizing the pedagogy of a beatdown. Ben Shapiro just falls over the top rope, and he's eliminated, so we are down to 6 individuals. 6 folks left here, folks. And there's a pin on, I guess that was kidney donor Karen. She looks busted open. That can't be. This type of competition with one kidney cannot be easy. And she kicks out at 2 on the Unabomber, though. And reply guy does as well on the Tech Lord. So Dawn kidney donor, Dawn, Karen, whatever the hell. She is bloody in there. Nails the Unabomber. Reply guy on the apron falls off and he is out. Count the reply guy out. Eliminated himself as usual. So we are down to 5 now. And the police state looks busted open in there as well. It's holding that pipe that the Unabomber brought out. Tech Lord going for a cover on Tucker Carlson. He kicks out quickly. So we got 4 men and 1 woman in there. 1 woman, not women. Andrew Yang looking a little worse for the wear in the corner. Takes a swing at the lady cop. Rolls up the Tech Lord. And there's a 2 count and a kick out. So Andrew Yang, the Tech Lord, the Unabomber, and Tucker Carlson are fighting. That kidney donor Karen catching her breath over in the corner. That's good. I worry for her. I hate to see her. You know, like I said, she did give a kidney, and I don't want to see her get beat up too much in the discourse. Like, it's unnecessary. We don't have to be so hateful all the time. It seems like the internet is a resentment machine that we scroll to find things to hate, and we are living in a great age of haterism. I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to unnecessarily love things that don't deserve love. The Unabomber rolled up by the Tech Lord and eliminated, so the Tech Lord used the algorithm to suppress the Unabomber's thinkings and teachings. Technological slavery indeed, folks. Tech Lord is huge, and he just nailed the kidney donor Karen, but Tucker Carlson flips him and takes out the lady cop at the same time. Andrew Yang knocked Tech Lord holding his knee. Just made he may be injured. And the lady cop just threw a briefcase at kidney donor Karen to get her to fight. Tucker Carlson over the top rope, and Tech Lord coming over there to get him. Carlson gets back in, but knocked over again and eliminated. So Tucker Carlson is out. We're down to 3. The Tech Lord, kidney donor Karen, and Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang having a good showing here in his first week since announcing the Forward Party. Not the most imaginative name, moving forward. Like, I mean, how do you just, all you do is exist to move forward. Like, is that the bar we're looking at now? Like, it's gotten so bad. Police state just threw that hammer on Andrew Yang. Big flip. There's a pin to Tech Lord and kidney donor Karen, and she kicks out at 2.5. And the Tech Lord's just huge in there. Oh, and he nails kidney donor Karen right in the side, and she's favoring that kidney. She's favoring that spot where, I don't know if that's where her kidney came out or the one kidney remains. I do not know. Really, this poor woman should not be dragged into the discourse this horribly. Of course, she's not poor. She's relatively privileged as well. So when I say poor, I'm using that just, as a metaphor, not as an actual socioeconomic status, because in order to be part of the discourse, you're not going to be poor in the first place. There are no poor people involved in the discourse. Andrew Yang bulldogs the woman and waves the Tech Lord in. He's swinging that briefcase, nails Andrew Yang. Tucker Carlson still outside ringside, trying to make a few talking points. Oh, and she just got her back cracked there by the Tech Lord. That was a devastating maneuver. Andrew Yang punched by the Tech Lord. We got 3 of them here. Only one can win. Over the top rope, pinfall or submission eliminates you. Just to recap that, none of these 3 people have ever won before. This is the first time we've even seen this kidney donor Karen involved in the discourse at this level. And there's a pin on Yang, and he kicks out at 2.5. You would think that Yang and Don Dorland should combine their efforts on the Tech Lord. He's just such a behemoth. And he falls over the top rope himself. The Tech Lord is out. So the Tech Lord is eliminated. We have Andrew Yang and kidney donor Karen. And what a boost this would be for this Dawn Dorland woman just dragged in social media this past week, and not necessarily entirely unnecessarily. There's parts of her story that are not lovable, but fact of the matter is she did give a kidney, and somebody took that story and made a creation from it. Maybe she didn't handle herself in the best way. Andrew Yang going for the pin though, only a 2 count, and she's really favoring that side. What a boost this would be for her, and she goes for a pin to win the Discourse in her first entrant. I think as that Discourse happened on social media with the bad art friend after the New York Times piece, I'm not sure she won the Discourse there. Maybe she can win the Discourse here. Andrew Yang, and she's over the top rope, and Yang nails her. A pile of those briefcases are there. She's at the edge, and he knocks her off. Andrew Yang knocks her off and eliminates her. So Andrew Yang, former Democratic presidential candidate and New York City mayoral candidate, did not win either of those that started his forward party, and wins the Discourse here this week, folks. Once again, just to let you know, this is sponsored by my Southern Gothic Futurist Patreon. You can support that. You can make comments down below in the YouTube page. Sign up for that Patreon, and I will tell you, I know that not many people get all the way through this thing, but a couple of y'all do. So if you made it this far, I want to tell you, send me an email. Tell me you got to the end, and out of the email I get, ravenmack@gmail.com. I'm going to pick somebody, if you're in America, to get a railroad haiku spike. That's part of the art I do. I share a lot of different things in my Southern Gothic Futurist Patreon. It's not just idiot politics crap like this. Nobody loves the Discourse. Like I said, I don't want to be a hater, even though this is a great age of hatering. I like to rule with love. Anyways, that's what we have this week, folks. I appreciate you tuning in. Check out that Patreon. Follow the YouTube page. Do all the dumb shit people say that you should do to follow me and create unreal clout, which means nothing in the actual real world. Salam.